everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to this YouTube channel Mir Academia, and I'm Hamza. Well viewers, this video is related with the very first chapter of our Pakistan Studies P2 Geography, that is Topography of Pakistan. In my previous video I've discussed about the certain topographic regions of Pakistan along with their relief and drainage, but this video is mainly related with the highlands. It means that I'm talking about the northern, northwestern and the western areas of Pakistan. But what exactly my topic is, that how basically the topography affect the highlands related with their economy and lifestyle. Means if we talk about the economy and the lifestyle of the people living in the areas of highland, how it is and how the topography affected. So this is what we have in today's video. Let's start from the very first point over here. As I said that I'm talking about only the highlands over here, so let's see that what are the key points we have related to the economy and the lifestyle. Number one, we have agriculture. When we talk about the agriculture of highlands, we know that the mountainous regions are basically the one with having the steep slopes. Apart from the other areas, for example, if we talk about the plain land areas, these are the flatland regions. So over here the slope are uniform. But when we talk about the highland areas, these are the areas with steep slopes. In such areas, the agriculture is very much difficult. So that is why the people over here, they perform terrace farming. That is my first point as well. The first one over here is terrace farming. That is the first point. So if I explain this point with the help of diagram, you can see over here that one diagram that I've pasted over here, that is the example of terrace farming. The people over here, they are performing agriculture. How? What they did, they mainly cut the slopes of the mountain and converted into flat lands. Means they created steps while cutting the slopes, and these steps that they created are called as terracing. And over here, just because they created into a flat land, now they are able to perform the agriculture. This process is called as terrace farming. If we talk about the second point over here, the canal irrigation of these areas, as it is a steep slope area, so the canal over here is very difficult to provide as compared to the plain land areas. Over there it is very easier to perform the canal irrigation, but in these areas it is difficult. So how they provide irrigation to these areas or to the agriculture, or if I talk about the terrace farming, the major source are mainly the rainfall and the melting glaciers, which are the major source of drainage of water. So what they do, either the rainfall is a major source, or secondly, when usually the flood comes, they use the floods and divert them towards these areas where these terracing are placed. So this is how the agriculture is flourished, or the irrigation is being provided to the terrace farming with the flood diversion. Before moving towards the next slide, let me erase this one so that I could show you the next point. Transhumance. Now transhumance is another activity. How? Before I draw the diagram, let me show you the points. Number one, it is a seasonal movement with livestock. Seasonal means winters and summers. With livestock means that the people, as you can see in the picture, are moving with their animals in search of food and water. So this is something which is related with the fodder or the pasture of the animals. As you could see in the second point, it is written higher pasture in summers and less in winters, which means that when there is winters, the areas are totally covered with snow. So that is why the land area is being covered and the pasture is not visible. It made or create a difficulty for these people to take their animals for the food or the fodder. Let me now clarify it with the help of a diagram. As we have seen, these areas are the highland areas. So when there is winters, these areas are totally covered with snow. As these people are living over here at point A, so just because of the winters, as I said, there is very less pasture, so they have to find those pastures. Just because of which they move downwards at point B, which is a lowland area, and mainly these areas are the one which are the valleys. So they moved over there just because of the winters, reached over there, provide their animals the pasture, Later on, when the summer comes, these people move back to the point A just because the snow is melt and now the pasture is visible. This activity from A to B and B to A, the seasonal movement, is called as transhumance. So this is a lifestyle. Moving towards the next one again, the communication. Point number 1, limited during winters. Why? Because I said that in winters the areas are totally covered with the snow, or there's a very heavy rainfall over there, or there are certain other hazards that we will discuss about over here. If we talk about the limited during winter communication, it means that when there is snow all over the place, even the roads and the passes are blocked, so the activity is basically less. So the communication over here means the connectivity. As you could see in the diagram there, this is something which is the picture of a landslide. Over here, just because of the landslide, the road is blocked. So the connectivity is now not there. The communication is not there. These things usually happen because of the heavy floods, because of the heavy rainfalls or the melting of glaciers. Just because of the floods or the bare of soil, it created soil erosion or create landslides. Or just because of the snow over there, it might create avalanches in the winters, or when the glaciers they melt, they provide a heavy water flow. So just because of these things, communications get disturbed. Even the infrastructure of those people who are living over there as settlements, or the electricity, for example the electric poles over there in those areas, these also affect the communication. Before moving towards the next one, let me clear this one. Next we have is transport. Now as I said in the previous slide that agriculture in the highland areas is difficult. Same like that, because of the steep slope, it is very much difficult to build roads. If any one of you ever visited the northern areas or the mountainous region, you people have seen that the connectivity of the road is not like the connectivity in the plain areas. Very much difficult to build road or railways. Just because of this, why these areas are not having that kind of a transport network or the road network. Next is the literacy of that area, mainly just because the people over there are not that educated because of the low literacy rate. That is why this is something which is related with the unskilled labor. The people are not that skilled, which is the reason mainly behind the less building structure or the modernization. So another thing over here is the risk to the life of those builders or the laborers, because while they are doing those making those building structures like the roads or any other things, so when there is any kind of a hazard or the risk which is being involved, for example a landslide occur or an earthquake occur, so those builders they might die. Then less area connected by the airports. We know that in our northern areas, we talk about Marine, Nathia Gali or certain areas, there are very few places, might be one or two, where we have the connectivity of airport, because it's not a flatland area, it's a steep slope area. So the process of the airport or the runways is not that much possible. We have one, for example, we have the example of Skardu. From Skardu to Hamza, now we have flights. So this is one example because of the airport process or the activity over there. Otherwise, the other northern areas where there is no process of airports or runways, so this is why this activity is very limited. Next one is initial and maintenance cost. Obviously, when we talk about the plainland areas, over there when we create a road network or any kind of other network, it take less cost as compared to the mountainous or highland areas, because over there you have to cut the mountains first and the process is being prolonged. So that is why it creates a lot of initial investment. Same like that when we talk about the hazards or the risk that we have over here, like the landslides or others, it also created a lot of damage. So the maintenance cost is also high. Next we have tourism, very much important. When we talk about the area of the northerns, for example the northwestern areas, mainly the highland areas, these people are earning, for example if I talk about the economy first of all, these people are mainly earning because of their scenic beauty, because that scenic beauty attracts the tourist. Local tourism or the foreign tourism, both are there. So just because the tourists they move over there, they are the one who are their source of income, the income of the locals. For example, if we take the example of our who are living in the plainland areas, we used to move in these areas in summers just to spend vacations because we need to see the scenic beauty or we need to get the cool kind of climate or weather. These are the reasons mainly of their income. And if we talk about certain other income, so as I said, when winter comes, the outdoor activities are less. So the mainly in the winters, the people are indulged in the indoor activity, that is cottage and small scale industries, where they used to make the rugs, carpets, handicrafts, clay toys. So these kind of things like decoration pieces, this used to sell these things to the tourist, to the local tourist or to the foreign tourist. So this is one more source of earning. These are the key points. Then if we move towards another one, that is economic and the physical importance of the highlands. Remember that in this video we are only talking about the highlands right now, so I'm talking in detail. The first one, as I said in the previous point, outputs of cottage and small scale industries like rugs, carpets, etc., baskets they used to create, clay toys, decoration pieces, shawls. These all are the things which is being made in the cottage or small scale industries, which are the indoor activities in winters. Second, tourism, as I explained in the previous point. Then we have permanent reserves of water irrigates vast industry. We know that all the territories that we have over here, for example, we talk about the tributaries which are coming, they are coming from the northern areas, the Karakoram or the Himalayas. So these are the origins of those water tributaries. Indus is coming over there, and then all the others like Jhelum, Chenab, etc. These also originate from those areas. So they have ample kind of a drainage system. Next, Karakoram Highway, very important one. Everyone knows about the CPEC, that Pakistan has been connected with China, and that is a trade route which has been linked from China until Gwadar. So the Karakoram Highway is the one which connects us with China through Punjab Pass, and that is one very important economic importance. Mineral sources, yes, minerals are available over there. I'm not talking about their extraction. I know that the extraction is low. We know that the extraction is not much, but we are not talking about the extraction right now. We are talking about the potential. So yes, the minerals are there, although they are not exploited properly because of certain reasons. But yes, the mineral resources are there in the highlands. Timber, fruits provide raw material. For example, if we talk about the wood over there, the wood provide paper, the wood also provide furniture, the wood for furniture, and these industries who are making furniture are getting raw material from those areas. If we talk about the fruit market, yes, trees they also provide fruits to the which is the raw material for the market as well. Next we have high peaks, protects from cold winds. These are our physical importances. Before I was talking about the economic one. This one over here we have the physical one. So as we have the Karakoram and Himalayas in the northern areas, these are the ones which are basically protecting us from the winds which are coming from the northern side like Russia or the northern poles. So if these peaks would not be there, the temperature over here might be -30, -40, even -50. Next, the environmental issues. Soil erosion due to deforestation and overgrazing. Soil erosion occurs why? Because when you cut the forest, the soil is bare and it eroded, and it eventually leads to the landslide. Overgrazing, when you take your animals for the pasture at one place again and again, they remove the vegetation and soil is bare again. Construction of roads creating deforestation. That is one more reason behind the deforestation. That is another environmental issue, because when you do the construction of roads, you cut the forest and eventually it would lead towards the soil erosion, then again the landslide. Last one we have over here is pollution, mainly created by the tourists over there who used to go over there, or even for the locals. It can be the water pollution, the land or the air pollution. So these are the damages which is being done by the public. Eventually it also affects the economy. So this is it with the highlands. I hope that you people like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel or like it. If you think that the video was useful, please kindly mention in the comment box. Inshallah, I'll continue with the next video, and next video would be inshallah related with the other topographic regions. Until then, please keep watching. Khuda Hafiz.